What if I told you that reality as you know is no longer the same? That time is different, that your connections are changing, and what certain events seem to be synchronized in an almost magical way. This is not imagination, it is a clear sign that you are already experiencing the fifth dimension. But calm down, I'm not talking about something mystical or inaccessible. I'm talking about a real change of perception, something many people are already feeling, but they don't know how to explain. You may have noticed that certain people have moved away, that your intuition is sharper or your relationship with nature has intensified. Small details, such as feeling a call to seek more authenticity and inner peace, are indicative that your consciousness is expanding. But how to know for sure? How to identify the signs that you are no longer attached to the linear logic of time and operating in a new level of consciousness? If you feel that something deep is changing inside you, continue here. I will show you clear signs that you are already vibrating in a new energy frequency and what it means to your life. Prepare yourself, because after understanding this, your worldview will never be the same. Have you noticed how sometimes it is a whole day to blink, while other hours seem to drag out endless? This distorted perception of time intensifies in the fifth dimension. Here, nonlinear time manifests itself obviously. The past, present and future intertwine, and previously disconnected events begin to make sense in retrospect. It is as if the flow of the universe is reorganizing everything according to its new consciousness. The clock continues to mark the same hours, but inside you, there is a change of deep perception. Many people report to feel that the days are shorter or that specific moments seem to repeat themselves as energy echoes. This is because, when energy frequency rises, the mind moves from chronological time and operates through intuition. A practical example: you are immersed in a creative activity and suddenly realize what hours have passed without you noticing. This sensation of absolute flow is an indication that your consciousness is aligning yourself with this new reality. Another curious effect is the synchronicity between thoughts and events. You think of someone and, minutes later, that person sends you a message. He dreams of a situation and the next day something similar happens. This is because, in the fifth dimension, the timeline does not follow a fixed course, it responds to its vibration. Time is no longer a limiting factor and becomes a reflection of its inner state. The more aligned you are with your truth, the more fluid it becomes. If this change of perception has been constant to you, it may be time to observe more carefully what your intuition is trying to reveal. After all, when time begins to behave differently, other aspects of reality also begin to transform. Have you ever felt that suddenly some people just don't match you more? Conversations that once flowed now seem forced, and even social encounters lose their shine. This is because by raising your energy frequency, you naturally move away from vibrations that no longer resonate with your conscience. It is not arrogance or lack of empathy, it is an energy realignment. Its vibrational field is changing, and old connections may no longer support this new flow of the universe. This social distancing can be painful at first, especially when it involves friends or even family members. Suddenly, matters that were once common lose meaning to you. While some are still stuck with old standards, you feel a call to something bigger, something that transcends superficiality. But you see, this does not mean that you should abandon dear people. Instead, it is an invitation to seek connections more aligned with your spiritual transformation. A good example of this is when someone goes through a significant change of priorities. Imagine someone who has always valued status and material goods, but now finds inner peace in simple things, such as a moment of silence in nature or a genuine conversation. This type of change can cause strangeness in old circles. And all right. This is a sign that your consciousness is expanding, and new people, more aligned with this phase, will begin to emerge naturally. So if you realize that some connections are dissolving, don't try to hold something that has already fulfilled your purpose. The universe operates in cycles, and each phase brings new encounters, new synchronicities, and new growth opportunities. And speaking of noticeable changes, you may have noticed another curious phenomenon lately. Do you know that moment when you feel something will happen even before any evidence? Or when a decision simply seems right, without any logical explanation? Yeah, this is no coincidence, it is your intuition becoming stronger. As its energy frequency rises, its consciousness expands and traditional logic gives way to a deeper connection with the flow of the universe. What once seemed like a mere guess now manifests itself as an unshakable certainty. Many people begin to realize this when they have spontaneous premonitions or forensics that come true. You may be driving and out of nowhere feel an impulse to change route, then discover that there was an accident on the original path. Or, he feels strange energy to meet someone and later realizes that that person was really not reliable. These small manifestations show that their perception is beyond the five senses. You are accessing information that does not come from the rational mind, but from your expanded consciousness. If you want to strengthen this intuition, practice listen more and think less. Meditation, silence, and time in nature help clean mental interference and capture more subtle signals. Another powerful practice is intuitive journaling. Write down sensations and thoughts that arise out of nowhere and, over time, see which ones come true. You will notice patterns and will start to rely on this inner compass. After all, intuition is not magical, it is a muscle that can be trained. And the more you align with this expanded perception, the more changes occur in your physical body. Have you felt some strange symptoms lately? Maybe that pressure on the head or a different tingling. Your body is a direct reflection of your energy frequency. As your consciousness expands, it needs to adjust to support this new vibration. And that's where the physical symptoms enter: head pressure, tingling, weight sensation, or even sudden fatigue. Often, these signs are confused with something negative, but actually indicate a deep energy realignment. Your nervous system is recalibrating to operate in a new tune, more connected to the fifth dimension. These sensations can suddenly arise and disappear as fast as they came. Some people report tin in the ears, change in the sleep cycle, or even a different appetite. This is because your body is adapting to a new energy flow. Imagine an electrical device working on a higher voltage. It needs adjustments so as not to overload. Your body does the same, releasing emotional and physical toxins to get into balance. This is why practices such as intense hydration, light food, and contact with nature can help in this process. If you have felt these symptoms, try incorporating small changes into the routine. Deep breathing meditations help regulate energy, while bathing with coarse salt helps discharge vibrational excesses. Some people benefit from the use of crystals such as amethyst or transparent quartz, which help stabilize energy frequency. Small adjustments make a big difference in body adaptation to this new vibration. And as these physical changes happen, something curious also begins to occur: their priorities begin to transform. Things that once seemed essential no longer make sense, while others have a completely different value. Suddenly, what once seemed so important begins to lose its shine. Status, material goods, external recognition. All of this has less weight. On the other hand, inner peace, authenticity, and life purpose become essential. This change of perception does not happen overnight, but slowly settles down until you realize that you are looking for a different kind of fulfillment, something that comes from within and not what the external world imposes. Many people experience this as an internal call. Perhaps that highly paid job, but that exhausts your energy, no longer seems so attractive. Or, certain social obligations begin to sound empty. You feel a growing desire to invest time in what really makes sense to your soul. And this can be from exploring a new hobby to completely changing its professional career. The important thing is to realize that this change is not a loss, but an energy realignment with its truth. If you want to better understand what your new priorities are, a good practice is the diary of authenticity. For a week, write down what brings you genuine satisfaction and what seems pure obligation. In the end, analyze the standards. Where does your energy flow naturally? What inspires you? Often the answers are already within you, but they need to be brought to consciousness. Small adjustments in everyday life make a difference. Replacing moments of empty distraction with activities that nourish your soul can be a good start. And as you align with this new way of living, something fascinating happens. Your connection with nature intensifies. Suddenly, the wind seems to speak, the corner of bird sounds like a message, and being outdoors becomes a deeply spiritual experience. Have you noticed how nature seems to answer when you are more conscious? The sound of leaves in the wind, the brightness of the sun between the clouds, the corner of the birds. Everything seems to gain a deeper meaning. This connection is not an illusion, it is a reflection of its spiritual transformation. The more your consciousness expands, the more you realize that nature is not just a scenario, but a living, pulsating and full of subtle messages. Many people report feeling a kind of communication with nature. Suddenly an animal crosses your way at the exact moment you are reflecting on something important. Or, a butterfly lands near you when you are going through a moment of transition. These are not simple coincidences, they are synchronicities that show that you are in tune with the flow of the universe. Trees, rivers, mountains. Everything carries its own energy frequency, and when you open to this connection, you feel indescribable inner peace. If you want to deepen this relationship, try spending more time outdoors, barefoot, absorbing the energy of the earth. Grounding, barefoot walking on earth or grass, helps to balance the energy field and relieve tensions. Another powerful practice is to meditate by observing the movement of the clouds or the fluidity of a river. Nature teaches about nonlinear time, detachment and harmony. Small rituals, such as mentally thanking sunset or planting something with intention, also strengthen this connection. And the more you align with this energy, the more you realize that life begins to deliver signs. Coincidences increase, the right meetings happen at the exact time, and everything seems to flow almost magical. Do you know when you think of someone and suddenly that person calls you? Or when reflecting on a decision and a clear signal appears, like a sentence in a billboard or a song that plays at the exact moment? This is not mere chance, it's the universe talking to you. When its energy frequency aligns with the fifth dimension, synchronics become increasingly frequent. It all starts to fit almost magically, and you realize that life has a natural flow, far beyond the control of the rational mind. The more conscious you become, the more you realize that these coincidences are subtle messages from the universe. It can be a book that comes to you at the right time, an unexpected conversation that brings exactly the answer you needed, or even a fortuitous date that completely changes your trajectory. These synchronicities are like a cosmic GPS, guiding you in the right direction. But to see them, you must be present, attentive and receptive. If you want to increase these manifestations, practice what I call active observation. Instead of spending the day on autopilot, start noticing the small signals around you. Keep a synchronization diary and see how certain standards are repeated. Ask the universe for an answer and be aware of the next few days, it can come in unexpected ways. Also, trust intuition more. Often, the answer is already within you, and synchronization only confirms what your soul already knows. And when you really start to live in this flow, everything transforms. Opportunities appear, the right connections happen, and the feeling of being on the right track becomes stronger and stronger. But how do you know if all this means that you are already in the fifth dimension? Well, there are very clear signs for this. Now that you recognize these signs, the big question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you ignore and continue living on autopilot, or will you embrace this spiritual transformation and align your life with the flow of the universe? The fifth dimension is not a destination, but a state of consciousness, and the more you allow yourself to live in this high-energy frequency, the more sync, intuitions, and positive changes you experience. Look at your life now. Where have you resisted the change? What has your intuition been trying to show you, but do you insist on ignoring? If time is different, your connections are changing and your perception of the world is changing, maybe it's time to trust what your soul already knows. Free yourself from fear, embrace authenticity, and allow yourself to flow with this new reality. And if you want to keep exploring this universe and deepening your understanding of expanded consciousness, be sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Here, you will always find content that will help you realign your energy and live in harmony with this new frequency. After all, nothing happens by chance. If you got here, it's because this message needed to get to you.